And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. Alright, that sounds good. Two fish. And red fish, blue fish. Let's pop over. That sounds good. And check the YouTube. Oh man, latency on that YouTube is insane. Oh no, is it? Seriously? Wait a minute. Seriously? There we go. There we go. Alright, for some reason YouTube was way back here. We're good. YouTube sounds fine. Seriously? There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright, for some reason YouTube was way back. Let's mute the YouTube. Let's mute the... Alright, when we last saw the 70s outfit, we had managed to make our saddleback jeans. Flared on the bottom. I'm pretty happy. We got a belt blocked out on here. This is pretty good. I still have to chop up and assign materials to this. And so I think actually for right now though, we're going to work on the shirt. I found a nice little shirt. And it even came with a pattern. Better yet. Also, I think Saturday I might work on shoes. That reminds me. It is happy Thanksgiving to anybody who's out there and celebrates. So Saturday we're going to redecorate because I saw the Fat Man today. Santa Claus has arrived in Herald Square, signifying the official start of the Christmas season. I know a lot of you already got your Christmas shopping done and you're already finished decorating. You were finished back in July. I get it. I, however, have not started. And so we're going to redecorate the stream. We're going to break out the Christmas decorations. We're going to change the background here for something more Christmassy. We'll run over to Adobe Firefly for the ethical AI. And I always have to use air quotes whenever talking about ethical and Adobe in the same breath. But anyhow, the top, I saw this top. I think this is a 70s themed top. I think this is going to work from my Style Diary blog spot. It's got this nice pattern here. So we're going to set that up. We're actually going to set this up with an untieable knot, which means it's not actually going to be a knot. It's going to be kind of a fake knot. But then we're going to make it so that there'll be an untied version where I'm just going to remove some of the geometry and it can fall loose. So that's the plan. Yo, it's Rod Shelley. Hey, Rod, how you doing? Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Did you and Joe have turkey? Or you went out for salmon? Is that what you do for Thanksgiving? We had a turkey. Actually, my partner's feeling a little under the weather, so she had a little bit of the turkey and went upstairs. But I did make turkey. I got the stuffing. There was some stuffing in the bird. I always love that. I got my yams made. Our asparagus to go with that. So we were good to go. I feel like I made something else, but I don't remember what it was. Anyhow, we're making this top. We're going to do this in Marvelous Designer. I have already cropped the picture in Photoshop, so we're going to bring that in the background. And this looks relatively straightforward. I kind of like this. This is going to look cool, I think. You had the traditional fish sandwiches, mac and cheese. You know, my neighbors always have mac and cheese with Thanksgiving. So that's not so crazy, really. The traditional mac and cheese. On the other hand, traditional fish sandwiches, I guess you do what you got to do. My family, it's always been turkey. And I don't know. I'm trying to think if I ever had a Thanksgiving where I didn't actually do turkey. And I can't recall a time I didn't. My entire life. Yo, it's Charles in the house. Was Art here? Did I miss Art? Did Art sneak in and say hi and I missed him? Dang it. And let's not forget Charles, of course. Good to see you, Charles. I hope you're feeling well today. Why do I got a 4029 on my name on YouTube? You know, Jay mentioned that too. I wonder if there's some way I can change that so that it's not so obnoxious. If we got a turkey, we'd be eating the thing for a month. That's pretty much what happens around here. Well, not a month. It doesn't keep that long, but we will probably be eating turkey for the next week. I didn't make the gravy today. I'll do that tomorrow when my partner's feeling better. But I am saving the drippings. I was worried. I was worried I wouldn't get enough drippings, and then I got lucky. I got about like a good cup worth of drippings out of that. So I should maybe make a good gravy out of that. Anyhow, Marvelous Designer. We've got our pants. We're going to bring in our pattern here. We're going to make this shirt, and then also I've got some shoe references that I found. So we're going to make shoes that go with this. Where did they go? I was looking at those just a little while ago. I managed to sneak these out of these. I think I'm going to make these. I'm thinking these. This is from a 1975 Sears catalog. Or maybe this was the pennies. No, this is the Sears. So we're going to match our saddleback jeans. It's getting older. You can either eat like you used to. Yeah, if we try, we're in misery. I know. Oh, there's Art. There's Art. There's Chris. There's Charles. There's Rod. Yo. Got to brine them to force the drippings. Oh, is that it? I got enough drippings. And the turkey came out well. For some weird reason, the legs and the thighs were a bit undercooked compared to the breast, which was annoying. Because, like, like what everybody says, I have my thermometer in the breast, and it said 170. And I'm going, that was good. Since we have what is known as an empty nest, I know you probably don't make as much. There's just two of us, and I still get a 16-pound bird. When I was younger, it was 20-pound birds, but then I. Why in the world was I making 20-pound birds for myself when I was younger? I don't know. Something seriously wrong with me. Anyhow, we will work on this shoe on Saturday. This should go nicely with our outfit here. So let's get in the Marvelous Designer. Oh, did I show everybody the shirt? This is the shirt we're making. We're going to match this up with the flared saddleback jeans and the shoes. We cut in half and do halftime. Roast upside down. 450 for 30 minutes of butter. Ooh. You got to get Snowbody in a shirt like that. Anyhow, let's get to work on this. Let's get our picture here in the background. Add background image. Activate. Let's do this thing. You are somewhere on my desktop. You are called, I'm going to put this over here for right now. You are called my something, something, something. No, there it is. Found it. Let's make you bigger. Let's not make you that big. Make you a little bit smaller than that. That's probably going to be a good size. Let's position you. This is actually this side over here. You know what? I'm just going to trace these out down here, and then we'll move them up. So anyhow, let's say okay to that. All right, let's come in here and trace these out. That doesn't look like the sleeve that'll fit those, but we'll come to that when we come to that. Let's start out. Let's draw this out. We'll start with our polygon tool. I'm going to follow this angle, but then we'll tweak it a little bit. We're going to put a curve in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to block this out first. Does that say 5? That would be like 100 centimeters, wouldn't it? Oh, it says 45. Are these in inches? I have no idea. Oh no, that does say centimeters. And I'm doing in meters. You know what? That is cool. That's not cool. We're gonna fix that. Let's optimize our yada yadas. So I'm gonna put this curve in here. Kind of like that. You know what? I could actually size these to these. These are actually centimeters. I'm actually pretty close. That I'm going to tweak a little bit. I am going to just make that 50. You know what? We'll do that. We're going to change length on that. I'm going to just say 50 on that. We'll say okay. Let's switch that. What are you right now? You're currently 80. You know what? I'm going to leave that. Here, let's duplicate this. These are way down here. So that's going to line up. Actually, that's going to line up over there. This is going to be on the back. Let's flip that normal. Like so. And then let's move this into the back. This is looking too small. We're going to probably have to make this larger. Even though I am kind of... Actually, I'm going to put those normals back for a second because this pattern is lined up like that. I'm gonna match this, then we'll flip the normals. So we're gonna put that there. I'm gonna drag you down till you snap into place right about there. Probably good. Let's put a little bit of a curve into the neck. Probably good, but now I can kind of tweak these. So we'll set that to be about 90. Kind of like that's pretty close. We'll also set this to be about 90. I don't see an angle in there though. It's on top. It's right about there, isn't it? I might tweak that. Anyhow, now I can flip the normals. I got to do that over here though, don't I? Now we're going to line you up like this. Bring you to the back. So that's going to get sewn up like that. No, no, no. You were supposed to sew. Is good. Is good. That's probably, I don't know, that might be too tight. We'll put you over there. We'll take these. I'm going to trace this, but I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to do half of this actually. Let's do it like the pros do it. Let's do it like this. And we'll get this shape. Let's have you be quad optimized. Let's bring this down like So let's take this, convert those into curves. This way I can grab these corners, position that so it's about 90. Right there, said 90. Take you, make that 90. Okay, that says 109.4, and it's going to have to sew up to this 157. Let's take a look at our picture. So this looks like they're supposed to match up, so we're going to tweak that a little bit. So 157.8 is my target. And I got to make sure that these are the same at some point. They are the same. Never mind. What was that again? 157.8. So I'm just going to size this. And then we're just going to kind of check this. 119. I'm pulling this up this way so that I can kind of keep that curve. And then I'm just going to take something out of the length of it later. 157.8 was my target number. 138.6. $154.7. Okay, that's pretty close, right? I think from there I can tweak this. 1578. Are you also 1578? Okay. Change length. 157.8. We'll do that. Say okay. And then I'm just going to adjust this point. I'm going to pull you back this way. Then we're just going to run this way until it snaps. Now I'm going to do that unfold thing. There, we're going to do that. We like that. We like that. I'm probably going to take the length out of that. Also, let's just, I think I can get rid of that. I'm going to leave this one because it makes it easier to sew in. We're going to line this up over that arm and then we'll sew that in. Okay, so that seam lines up with that one. This lines up with that. Let's turn, is my gravity still off? Gravity is off. We're good to go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. Let's move you over here for now. So we're going to, yeah, do that thing there. I'm not going to sew this up. But I do want to sew the back up. All right, now let's see how this goes. That is definitely too small, isn't it? And did I actually get the arm through the armholes? I don't think the arms went through the armholes. Let's back this up. We'll sew the sleeves on separately. We'll let this stuff get sewn on because I think right now the sleeves are pulling those armholes up into the arms. So I'm just going to delete that sewing out for just right now. And then we'll just let that. Although honestly, what are we looking at? This should be that should be down here. The whole thing just needs to be bigger. Is my sewing flipped in here? Is that what my problem is? No, you just got twisted around funny. We can fix that. We're just going to come back to here. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Oh, just, dang it. Just when you think you got the right thing selected. So we'll just pull that forward so that it doesn't get twisted weird. I think that's a bit of a better fit, except I want to pull these down. I kind of like, yeah, these need to, I think, just come down further. And these might have to come up a little bit. You know, I think I'm just going to run this. We'll just do this. Actually, I want to change the length on that to 50. Just so it's a nice even number. And that'll make it easier to add the ties. And then I'm just going to drag you down till you guys hook up like that. That's almost in the right spot. Actually, I might make these thinner. And then what I want to do is maybe we'll just pull you back a little. These I'm going to take up a little. And we're also going to fit it a little bit better like this. And then this back here, you need to at least be right there. I'm going to take this up and we're going to put a little bit of a curve in here. And this way I can actually 90.8, that's pretty close. 90.3, 90, those are actually pretty good. It's probably okay. And then I might tweak this still some more. Let's go ahead and start adding in our tie. I think I'm about in the right position here. Why are you stopped? Why are you stopped? Damn you. I think I'm going to make this even a little thinner. So we'll pull that down one more. 35 and 35. I'm going to put a really kind of complicated shape in here. It's going to consist of squares. Is that 35 though? That's 30 now. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to put a little 30 by 30 to start with. Say okay to that. I'm going to quad optimize that. I'm going to, this is going to get a little complicated, and I'm going to move these all as a small little group in just a bit. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to copy these. Now I'm going to line them up. So I'm going to line that up right about there. I'm going to line you up right about there. We're going to put these thin little attachments that I will delete later on in here. It's just going to hold everything together. And those are going to be like 30 by, I want to do 2.5. Let's try that. Let's say 32.5. In DAZ, the default collision distance is 2. So I want to be just a little bit larger than the default collision distance in DAZ. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. And then what I need is, I need to run a set through the top and a set through the bottom, and I need 3 each of these. Did I not quad optimize you? I did. But you're so frickin' small. Can I just quad grid you? We're going to do that. That's what I want it to look like. And then I'm just going to go, dang it, CV. Just draw one of these in like that. And CV. I'm going to drop another one in like that. And then what I need is another set of these. And then what I need to do is we're going to sew these up in between these. So I'm going to line these up right about there. And then we're going to line these ones up right about here. So this is geometry that later on I will delete in DAZ to make the undone version. Right now they're going to hold everything together, but later on when we delete them out, things will be able to fall free. I'm going to freeze you. We're going to strengthen these up. Okay, now I'm going to sew these. We're going to sew these into the tops and then these into the bottoms. So it's going to work something like that goes there, and that goes there, and this goes here, and that goes here. Organization, very important. Makes it a lot easier to do. And then these go into the bottoms, like so. Is that right? Yeah, that was right. I have it organized, but then I'm like losing my... Is everything... Did I freeze everything? All right, I'm just going to do this. They're going to stretch really weird to try to fit in there. You know what? These, I want those to be strengthened, and I know I'm going to freeze them, and then they're going to do that. There we go. And then what I kind of need to do is set these to be, I think, 90s or something. We'll see. These, so if I set all those fold angles to 90, snap. Look at how sharp that was. 90 was the number. Yay. I almost never get that number right the first time. These got to be 270s. because I got these backwards. Or I can just flip the normals on them. We'll just say 270. There we go. Look at that. Nice, neat package. All right, we're going to turn this off. Actually, can I move all of you with it turned off? I can't. But I'm going to freeze all of these. There we go. Nope. There we go. Okay, that is the building block that I'm going to attach all my bows to. I have to do some normal flipping on some of these. Or maybe not. Maybe that's going to be okay. I think this is going to be okay. I'm going to just kind of line this up about where they're going to line up in here. And then what I want to do is I want to do these two middle ones here. And this one gets sewn over here. And then this one gets sewn over here. So we're going to do it like this. Okay, and then when I pull that, so that's the thing that does the thing. Now I just have to figure out how to get that shaped better so that it comes across. Or maybe I'll just add a touch of elastic onto these. So they kind of do that. I know it's kind of cheating, but I like it. And I'm going to unfreeze these for a second and just see where they go. I may regret this. What if I quad grid all of that? Do they all line up nice and neat? Can't say as I am really crazy about that. Can I quad optimize all of these? You know what? I'm going to just quad optimize them and we'll go with that. Okay, let's unfreeze. Let's do this and see. Kind of let it. Okay, this, let me tweak the elastic off on these now. I need to get a little bit of elastic in there. Or something. Or just, part of me wants to just put a dart in here. From here to here. To close that up. Let's take a, well, that wasn't in the pattern though. You know, if I, maybe at this point we can pull this up and bring it in and have it just stretch. I don't know. I'm playing with it now. So kind of just bring that up like so. And then maybe pull it out like that. See if, see, that just kind of pulls it a little bit tighter in a more natural kind of way. You know, for this top, and maybe I'll go with slightly. So what I am going to do is I am going to put elastic on these so that kind of gets it all bunched up. Let's take the strengthening off on these. And let's put elastic on these. I'm going to be, boom. And we're going to kick you up to 50. So it kind of tries to get half the size. Are you doing anything? Did I not put elastic on there? That's better. Uh-oh, my sleeves fell off. What the hell? Did I accidentally switch to... No. Did I suddenly just turn gravity on? Where did that come from? What the heck? That's kind of good. You know what? We can go get those sleeves in there now, by the way. I'm just going to double check and make sure that they're still 183.8, right? Did you 183.8? I am good. Uh, let's sew you into there. Let's sew you into here. Let's do that. That should kind of wrap around the arms. Actually, let's stop that. I'm going to freeze this stuff up, and then we'll do this again. All right, looks good. I'm going to turn a little bit of gravity on. I need to get those so the sleeves drop over the arm. Do this. So the idea is I'm going to try to get these to drop over the arm, and then we can put that, then we can close off that seam on the bottom. All right, let's, yeah, I had it. Let's see if I can get you fixed. All right, that's better. Let's see if we can get this fixed, because we got that sticking through the arm in exactly the way cloth does it in the real world. Trying to get there. That was better. I'm getting there. Making progress. All right, I think we're mostly good. Now I should be able to sew that. Close it up. Okay, it's much too long. The one in the picture just goes past the elbow, so we're gonna match that. We'll get that to come like up in there somewhere. I keep hitting the nudge key and it goes really slow. I might actually widen that out. For a cooler look to it. Or maybe, yeah, let's try flaring that. See how that looks. I'm just going to double check something. 2646. 263. I think you needed another nudge. Is that right? 2646. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that'll be fine. By the way, Jay was on. I don't know if Jay's still on. He's over on the YouTube. So I know Art mentioned that he went live, and I know Jay mentioned yesterday he was going to go stream today. Or maybe that was this morning. All right, let's work on this. How does my back look, though? You know, that's probably okay. He was about 2/3 an hour. Let me check. All right. All right, let's unfreeze, and I'm going to start working on the bow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take strips, and we're going to attach it to these. So what I need is, I need a piece that's going to attach to this and come out here. Then it's going to double back and attach here, and then the end will come off of here and droop out. So you should be, are you 30s? You are 30s. So we're going to make, let's say 75 and 30. Say okay with that. And quad optimize that. And you're going to come into here. I'm going to move these attachments up over here. Then what I need is a piece that's going to go right up in here. So this will get sewn over to here. I'm going to undo this elastic for right now. And am I got gravity on? I do. I'm going to turn that back off. We're going to unfreeze all you guys. I'm going to remove the elastic off of this for right now. I'm going to put it back on later, but for right now, we're going to be good. And then when I let that, and then I need to take you two, we're going to bring you kind of in closer to here. He ended about an hour ago. All right. So don't watch Jay today. Jay has given up on. I think those are good. And now I'm going to just take this one and CV that. Bring that over here. And this is going to be the end. So we're just going to run that a little bit long. And I might even shape that some. And this actually needs to go on the inside. So you know what? What do I got here for layers? I'm going to make you, you and you are going to be minus layers, I think. You, and you. You're going to be at minus 10. Let's do that. Let's put you and you. Let's call you guys 0. Let's call you minus 5. So let's So this gets sewn to that. This gets sewn to that. That's the loop. This then gets sewn to this attachment here. And then that gets sewn to that. It's the tail. I'm going to go ahead and freeze this stuff here so it doesn't move around. And then we'll do this. This should want to get behind everything. And I'm going to want to it's a little tight because you got this stuff in the way. So if we unfreeze these, and now I can't. There it is. I can just grab a little bit of this and maybe pull that tail out. So that's going to come out through here. If this gets close to this, it'll crawl underneath. Yo, Fallen Learns, welcome. We're making a 70s top today. I actually found a pattern for this cool tie top. And I'm making an untieable bow. Patent pending. I told you that was going to crawl underneath there. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm probably going to hide this and then work this out a little bit. Or maybe just set this to be all higher than this. So I do want to flip the normal, or do I want to flip the normal on that? It makes for an awful weird connection right there if I don't. But then it makes for a strange connection back here, but you can't really see that, so that's not as problematic. So I'm going to flip the normal on that. We're probably good. I'm actually probably going to end up welding this to this. Where are you connected to? Right there. So I'm going to, maybe we're just going to do this. And we'll put a weld on that. Do I do this the other way? I can never remember. Well, not a weld, but a merge. And did that pop over here, or does this pop over there? That pops over there. We're going to do this backwards. So I'm going to select this one first, then this one. Then we do the merge, and then there we go. So this is now actually one piece, and it should loop a little nicer without that seam in the middle. It's probably okay. I might actually make this a denser mesh than I normally do just because of this. Or we just might do that right here in just this detail area. So currently I'm running like 10 millimeter polygons, approximate. I might switch these to be 5s. Anyhow, that's part of it. Now I got to do a loop for the front. So it's kind of like this, but we do it the opposite way. So, what was that again? 75. So we're just going to pop a little square in here. It's going to be 75 by 30. It is good. We're going to quad optimize that. Okay, I'm going to put we're going to put layers on this. I'm going to put a layer on that actually. I think I can do this. At some point, we'll just take all the layers off, but right now, this is just helping. Actually, I don't really need the layer for that, do I? Where are you anyhow? You're over there. Let's move you up here. I can probably, because these ones had to go back, I put layers on it. These ones will probably be okay. So you're going to sit right about in here. That's going to get sewn to that little holding piece there. Then I'm just going to take this. I'm going to make a copy of that. We're going to sew that to that and this to this. I'm going to bring you up in front like that. And I'm just going to make a little copy like this. This will be the tail. And that's going to be attached to there. And we're just going to make that longer like we did on the other side. So I'm just going to kind of run that out. I should actually measure that, right? 195. 105. That means I need mine 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's simulate that and see how it goes. Yay! Okay, I'm going to flip the normal on that, and then we're going to merge this. So flip the normal. I think, how does this go again? I choose that, and then we do the merge. And that comes over here, right? Yes. So now it's just one piece. There we go. I'm going to put the elastic back on these. So it'll scrunch up and it'll look a little cooler. I'm going to hide the jeans for right now. What time is it? It's not even 8 o'clock. I'm making good progress on this shirt. So you know what? We're just going to activate, deactivate pattern and sewing. I'm going to leave that way because now when I do this, this doesn't want to crawl underneath, right? Or do you? Yeah, now you're just floating free. Okay, excellent. And we can see I got my little scrunchie going on. So I pulled in a little tight so it'll look kind of like a fake knot in there. Let's add a little bit of gravity so it can start looking a little more natural. You know, let's try full gravity. So Snow Bunny kisses me goodnight and says, I'm going to sleep now. And what does Art do? Art's going to be up for a little bit longer. Is that it? Well, tell Snow Bunny we say goodnight. All right, that's the basics. I'm going to add a little detailing. I'm going to put a little extra shape on here. We're going to I'm just going to like angle that a little bit. So I'm just going to run you out. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. I'm not crazy about those. Those are larger than 10. Those are 15. That's more than 15. I may end up just running some internal lines on that just to get this to work better. 1, 2, 3. Did I say 4? I can't remember now. 225. 235. I did say 4. And 4. So if I do an internal line like that. Oh, that was 5 millimeters. Never mind. I want to do 10 millimeters. It never gets this shit right, though. Offset as an internal line. Let's say 10 on that. So it plops 2 lines in there. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Offset as an internal line. Okay. You know, that's better geometry. And well, you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to just... So if we just increase the geometry of all of this, let's do that. Just increase the geometry of these to 5 instead of 10. That did give me some weird geometry in there, but that's fine. That gives me a little extra for some more detailing. I think I'm hitting it. Is that backwards? Why are you green? It's because I'm like seeing the backside of that. But that shouldn't be green, should it? What if I flip the normal on that? Or is there another reason? Oh, no. It's green because it has a layer information, which we'll go ahead and get rid of now. This here layer, we'll just make everything 0. And now when we simulate, let's unstiffen those. Oh, now I've just stiffened everything instead. Okay, that's looking fine. I'm going to add a little bit of elastic to this to try to pull it tight. It's either that or I'm going to dart it or something. Yeah, let's try elastic first. That was too much. Nope. Okay, let's try that. It may be. We'll do this in little baby steps. We'll say 95. Actually, let me try this. If I say 100, and I know that doesn't make sense, but what that'll do is keep this from stretching. I think right now that line might be stretching a little bit. I don't know. Where's the information? If I look at that, the 2D line is 307, the 3D line is 335. That means it's stretching by like almost 30 millimeters. So if I set this to be 100 with a strength of 100, that'll just tighten it up a wee bit. Did I not just hit the enter key? Spacebar, spacebar. There it goes. Do I have gravity turned on? I do. That doesn't really want to settle down, does it? Oh, you're still frozen back here. Let's unfreeze you guys. What happens if I make the whole thing 5? And then I'm going to play with the material a little bit. So let's try that. And then let's do. Yeah, I'm going to go with 5 on this one. I normally don't go this tight, but I'm going to see how this works. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of working for me. That's driving me a little crazy the way it gets a little wonky with that and the elastic. It doesn't, it really doesn't like that elastic, does it? Oh, if I do that, that's going to fall out in here. That's actually not too bad. I think I'm going to put it back in here, though. And what happens if we go super crazy with that? Say 35. I'm playing. I'm going to play with this now. All right, let's hit save here. I've actually got this in a nice shape. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this to work. I would like that to come over just maybe a little bit more. Oh, you know what? I might end up living with that. So if I take this and move it back down again, we're going to just, damn you, selected the whole freaking thing when I want to just bring you up that way. Just bring you down like so. And then I don't know if we take you a little bit more that way. Is that doesn't really do anything, does it? How tight I am how tight am I in here? Let's take a look at the strain map. Actually that's not too bad. Gets a little tight right there. Why? I don't know. Let's take a look at the stress map. Stress map looks fine. I'm going to put that back. You know what? I think I'll just bring this up higher so I can get a little bit better coverage in there. And then maybe I'll just tweak the whole thing. I don't know. Let's see how this goes up. The original one had more of a cut in it. Had more of a shape like that. I might go with that. I just wish I knew where the nipples were on. I can never remember where the nipples are. They're always in a spot that I don't expect them to be in. Because I think they should be here and they end up over here. Because dads be like that. I think I'm going to go with that. And this, I should be able to make so that it can be untied in DAS. All right, we're going to stop this. We're going to start chopping up our materials in here. Let's add a fabric. Just put her in the fridge for a while. Yeah, the judge told me to stop doing that. Yeah, it looks fine. Oh, you know what I do need to do? I do need to weld the back together. Can I just say merge? Does that do the trick? Boom, yeah, we can do that. That looks fine. I'm happy with that. It's Yo, Napsmore. It's just that time of year. Send her out to get the mail. That's one way. Hey, Jenny, do you mind running out and getting the mail for me? It's going to be, I'm going to say top. Trim. We'll start with that. Apply you all to that. Okay, these are going to be jeans. You know what? I'll start off with trim on that one. Are we good? Are we good? Yeah, I'm good with that. I think I'm going to go with that. I might need to make some changes when we get it into Daz, depending on where the nipples really end up at. I think I've got them covered, but you never know. And the cool part is, when we then delete these out, those should just fall apart nice and neat. So let's hit save. Let's start trimming things up so I have the cuffs trimmed out. I have that trimmed. I'm going to put I want a side seam here, so we're going to put a trim through there. Offset as an internal line. 5. Say okay. I'm going to come into here. Maybe, maybe not. It's still thinking. It's spending too much time thinking now is what it is. Why do I have to? Oh, I know what it is. I had 2 left over from the last time I did an offset internal line. Offset is an internal line. We need to say 1 and then say okay. And then we need to cut and sew those. Yeah, yes. Okay, then I'm going to come. Oh my God, it's getting so slow. We're going to offset as an internal line here. I'm going to say 2.5 on these. We're going to cut and sew that. Always with the meshing of patterns. Cut and sew. Okay, I need I'm gonna offset as an internal line on these. Is this gonna work? This might work. I'm gonna do 2.5s on these. Or do I want to do, yeah, let's try that. Dang it. I know, I went to all the trouble to select that stuff and then one wrong move. Uh, 2.5, I'll say okay to that. We'll cut and sew those after it meshes patterns again. Those look like tries, don't they? Let's fix that. I think that gets me good. Didn't I not put one over here? I guess not. Does that mean I didn't get, yeah, so I need here, here, and here. That's right. I lost all my linked editing when I flipped the pattern. Okay, that one needs to be 5. Let's do, I think I still have some, yeah, let's set the layering to 0 on that. Let's activate. Let's just let it sim. Hey, Digital Deck, welcome in. I'm working on a 70s outfit. We did the pants last time, and today we're working on the shirt. Although I'm doing a little bit of trimming, and then we'll add trim to the shirt. So anyhow, let's knock out the jeans materials. So I have jeans trim. Let's do, you're gonna be jeans. I fat fingered something. There you go. Okay, I need a jeans cuffs. I need a zipper and then zipper attachment. Jeans zipper. I'm gonna copy that. You know what? That's supposed to be an underscore. That way. You're supposed to be an underscore. The little attachments are the things that we'll delete in DAZ to make this a unzipped version. So I need attachments and, oh, for crying out loud. These actually don't have pockets, so we're not putting any on. The real life version didn't have pockets, so we're good with that. I need belt loops, and I need a waist. So let's say, look how slow that's going. I'm gonna save this, turn it off, open it back up. I think what's happening is I'm getting to that point where my levels of undo are just eating up so much of the memory. It's just bogging the also that stress map probably isn't helping. Did that change anything? Probably not. Let's copy that. Let's see if this is any faster with that stress map turned off. No, that still is awful slow. Belt loops. Jeans, belt loops. I think that's probably all of the, and then I need a belt, and then I need a, is that also called a belt loop? Parts of a belt. Parts of a belt. I'm Googling on screen too. That's also called a belt loop. Uh, belt loop. That's what that is. All right. Copy that. I do the clothes. I'm a clothes maker. So that's what we're doing. This is just a standard Genesis 9 female figure. I use the Genesis 9 female figure because I'm going to It should look good on Genesis 9.8, and also I'll need to make it to the Genesis 8. But before we do this for Daz, I have to convert the Genesis 9 base. So I need belt and belt loops. So I need you to say, oh, and then I need a belt attachment. So belt loop. I'm just going to say belt. Copy that. Belt loops. Copy that. Then I have these little thin strips in here that are holding the belt to the waistband. Those are belt attachments, which I can delete later on in Daz to help undo the belt. Belt attachments. You better join that Snow as you're tired and got to get up early this morning. Hey, thanks for being here, Art. It was good to see you. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks a lot. We hope to catch you later. Been cooking the Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, we finished. Well, my partner wasn't feeling well, so she just came down and grabbed a bit, but I did make turkey. Uh, we had our traditional turkey with yams, stuffing. You're an artist of many forms. You got links. If you got links you want to share, drop them in the chat. That would be fine. And if you want to show off your work, if you don't, that's fine too. And I'm thinking I'm still blocking this out. I think I've got the jeans done. Let's work on the top a little bit. I'm on your phone. Oh, okay. Ken, will you move down the list? Will you just move? Please. You come over here. Let's try that again. How about down here? There we go. Copy that. Top. Let's copy that. So for the top, I got trim. We need to do sleeves. I need to do cuffs. I need to do my tie bow, tie ends, tie knot, and also tie attachments. So top sleeves. Let's copy that. Sleeves, let's say cuffs. So you're on your phone while cooking. Is that it? What is Thanksgiving dinner for you anyhow? Is it turkey? I just automatically assume turkey, but I know my neighbor does ham and turkey, and their traditional mac and cheese. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks. Cuffs. Do you use Daz, by the way? Just out of curiosity. Copy that. What do I need? I need ties. So I'm gonna say tie bow. Copy that. Ties ends. I don't know if I'm gonna need all of these. Ties not. Copy that. And then this is ties not attachment. Okay, let's start assigning. Let's give everything colors. Let's do that. Get the colors out of the way. Boop. Turkey, only time I eat it extreme exterminating like usual on the food. Is that I gotta admit, I do pretty much only eat the turkey about once a year. Experimenting. Oh, is that what it says? Experimenting. You are on your phone. Your phone thought you were Dalek and thought that you were exterminating. Get it? I got it. Apply that. Jeans. Let's use that color. Apply that. Let's put this over the jeans cuffs and apply that. Dang it. Let's come over to here. Jeans zipper. That's right. Exterminate. Where are we at? We are on the zipper attachment, the waistband, the belt loops. The belt. Let's do the belt in browns. It just makes my brain happier that way. Belt loop attachments. There we go. Okay, we're now on the top. Yo, Tarpov. There you are. That's well, doesn't everybody have a friend, Dalek? Are you one of those racist people? You just don't invite Daleks over for Thanksgiving. It's that whole wiping out everybody at the dinner table thing, isn't it? Keep that plunger away from the food. Exactly. You don't invite anyone over for anything. Well, okay, fair enough. I, Daz doesn't use these colors, but it does make it easier for me to figure out what I'm doing later on. It makes it easier to make sure I don't miss anything in here, so I'm not completely wasting my time. All right, I'm going to apply and close. All right, now we're going to start dragging and dropping these into the appropriate spots. So you, and you are all top. You and you are sleeves. Oh, I haven't put cuffs in here. I got to start doing my trims and my cuffs. Damn it. Let's do that. Offset is internal line. You know what? I'm going to say, if I say 50 on that, you know what? I'm going to say 50 on that. And then we'll cut and sew. And then I can just drag and drop that if it'll get around to, nope. There we go. Okay, and I do I want to put a trim on here? I am going to put one little trim line right here. That's going to be a 5. Am I making pie? I think I am. Maybe it's pudding. The you don't make its call until it's done. Is that how it works? When you pull it out and you go, yeah, it was supposed to be a pudding. Did I cut and sew you? I did. Okay, excellent. Let's put that in that. And that. Are you still mirrored? You are still mirrored. Excellent. Offset is internal line. Do that by 5. I need one of these. It's in yellow. There it is. Cut and sew those. I'm going to put that and that. I'm going to turn the linking off on this right now. So we'll remove the linked editing because I need to select, otherwise it does weird things. Offset that as an internal line. So offset as an internal line by 5 should be good. That's right, Chris had entered and the box did nothing. Cut and sew those. That and that. You know, I thought I had you selected. Offset as an internal line. Been writing a lot, poetry and fiction. Limited photo manipulation and drawing. Nice. Open that. Did I do that? And then cut and sew that is good. And then on the back, let's do those. No, I did not select a point. No, you evil rat bastard, you. There we go. Offset as an internal line. Cut and sew. I have to chop parts off so I can assign different materials. That's just the way this program works because it thinks it's using cloth. It likes to pretend that amateur journalist, more of an activist, minor. Are you running for an office? Offset as an internal line. Say okay. Cut and sew that. I think I'm almost done chopping this up. I need a little line there and a little line there. Offset as an internal line. Okay. Cut and sew that. And office, just a county. Well, you know, that's a start. I have to say, I almost never in my life have voted in an odd year election, but one of the people running for town council, and I'm sure she got my name out of the DNC, actually reached out and kind of motivated me to actually, what is wrong with you? Oh no. Oh no, that one went horribly amiss. I have to back this up to that. So I mean working at a local level is a start. I'm just undoing stuff until I can get back to here. You've run 2 times countywide in different counties in California. I was student gov way too long. Nice. Um, so we're just undoing. You're way too good of a person to be President Rod. I'm sorry. All right, let's try this again, and this time I'm going to pay attention to what it's doing. Offset as an internal line. All right, did you do... You know what I probably did is I probably... No. Ah. Right. I want you... No, I choose you, Pikachu. Let's try this. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I need to do? I gotta get rid of this point. Are you still actually linked editing? Is that what it is? I took... No, you're not. You're just being goofy. Let's just convert you to a curve point. You post or repost mostly in X Blue Sky, X Facebook, and Deviant. Offset is internal line. Let's see. Are you working now? Are we good yet? I figured it was DeviantArt. Yeah. I have a DeviantArt account. I occasionally post to it even. I regularly do my new announcements over on Instagram. I have started posting on Blue Sky, but I I can't say I'm not happy by the fact that I can't tell if anybody actually saw my posts on Blue Sky. I guess giving letting people see metrics on their posts is just too much work, said the grumpy old man. All right, I lost these. I have to redo these ones. If I post something controversial, I'll find out. There's that. Yeah. I like Instagram. That's I find that that one just feels best, and it does tell you how many people actually saw. Although at the end of last year, somebody thought it was a great idea to limit posts to... they got rid of people following hashtags. So if you followed a hashtag, you couldn't see that anymore. And so that really cut down on the number of people seeing my posts. And I'm pretty sure they just did it as a money grab. You don't get much response on... Well, I don't know what... Yeah, I mean, I get like a few dozen people. I think my social media marketing isn't really doing a lot of good, but I do it anyhow. It takes like 5 or 10 minutes when a new product comes out. Uh, Offset is internal line. Cut and sew. Okay, I think we're good there. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get this to work without breaking things. Offset is an internal line. I think that's going to work, but we'll find out. Let's zoom in. And we'll cut and sew that. I can't see if this is going to work because I was zooming in when it wasn't letting me do anything. That looks fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then I want internal lines there, there, and there. And that should finish all my trimming up. What program I'm using? What, this is Marvelous Designer? Is that what So Marvelous Designer is an awful lot like a sewing simulator, except Marvelous Designer is geared towards the 3D. There's a sister program called Clo 3D, which looks an awful lot like this, except it's got tools that are geared more towards the actual apparel industry. Is that good? That's good. Let's cut and sew those. Okay, I think I am done chopping up all my little bits. Okay, we're going to start assigning fabric names to different parts here. So I'm just going to grab everything, and we'll start off with making everything just a top trim because the trims are the hardest to select. And then this is top here. These two are top here and here. That's a sleeve. That's a cuff. That's a sleeve, and that's a cuff. Top tie bows. Okay, the bows are these parts right here. They're the little loopy parts. So put that there. The tie ends are this and this. The tie knot are these 4 squares right here in the middle. And then these are little attachments that I can delete in DAZ. So I think, did I do my belt? Did I finish the jeans? I don't know if I did the jeans. Let's redo the, I did not do the jeans yet. Okay. So we're just going to make everything trim to start with because it's just easier to work that way. Then that, and that are jeans. Oop. Jean cuffs are these on the bottom. Here's hoping that it actually drops it where I'm trying to drop it. It did. Okay, I think I'm good. What's next? Zipper. I need to do a cut and sew in here. Right there, because this is the zipper. I should probably rework this. I probably don't need. You know what? I'm going to put a cut and sew right there. And I'm trying to think. Are you attached? If I put a cut here and then attach this to the other side, because you're currently attached to there, and then I can just use the one. And then will this come apart? Maybe I'll do that. No, I think I'm going to just keep it this way. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm thinking how I'm going to have to take this apart later on. So I'm going to do that. You missed. You missed horribly. Let's try this again. Start there. Come to here. Can I just put a cut in there? Cut and sew in there. And then do I have a little line right there? I do. And then a little line right there. And then I think I could just cut those. And you know what? I want to reattach. I want to reattach that to that. Remerge that. Yeah. And then can I just remerge these? How many? I thought I was trying to move something when I was just merely selecting things. So did you go back? Okay, so that's good. I'm going to temporarily put that there. So what I have to do is I have to resew this to this because it got unattached when I did that cut in there. So I think you should be the same length as this, I think. So that's back together. And that's going to hold that in place. And then this is attached over there. Then I think I want to sew this in over here and probably lose this one. And then resew this to this and cut that. And then I have to resew this. Yeah, I'm going to do that as well. So I'm just going to put a cut right here. A lot of this is just odd stuff for getting it to work better in DAZ. Okay, so I have to resew you to you like that. I think that's good. You're still sewn into that. I want to sew this to here. I think that'll be good. I'm just trying to double check. No, actually, you get sewn over to here. That this needs to be sewn to this over in here. That's it. And this is about to get weird. All right, if I do this, am I okay? This is still flopping free in here, though. I gotta. So I gotta sew that in to over here somewhere. I think that can line up right in here. I can do that. And for purposes of UVs, I'm going to put that there. Actually, I need you to sit right there for a minute because what I'm going to do, CV, copy that. So I need to sew, where are you sewn to? There and there. So I need to sew this to the same spots on that side. Oh no, it flipped to the other side. There we go. And then I think you get into here. And then I think I sew this to this piece to hold it in place. This is gonna get ugly. I should freeze everything but this one piece right here. Otherwise it's liable to just explode weird while this one piece I created is like floating way out here somewhere. So let's freeze everything. I only want one piece to move right now. That's you. So I'm going to unfreeze you. We're going to do that, and hopefully that'll get kind of pulled into where it needs to go. And hopefully the top doesn't explode while I'm doing this. All right, that worked. Now I'm going to unfreeze everything, and I think I'm in a good spot here. Top is still looking fine. I can't tell if you're running or not. I think you're running. Yeah, it's running. I had everything in nice, neat order, so nothing went weirdly, really weird. Excellent. Okay, let's stop that. All right, let's finish chopping up the your first pie. Excellent. Totally not a pudding. Good deal. What kind of pie? I was lazy and I just bought frozen, which we aren't even having today. I want you over there. Let's bring you. I was in the middle of doing this when I decided to redo the zipper, right? So where was I? I was in Jean's zipper. Oh yeah, I want to put you back, and you get back over here. You're actually waistband. Do I want that to be zipper? Maybe. I think so. I think we'll make you zipper and you zipper. Okay, now we're on zipper attachments. These are these two little thin strips that can easily be deleted later on in Daz Studio. I think I got those colored. What are we on? The waistband. I may have to do a little more work because these internal lines might fall apart in Daz. It's a little annoying that way. That is good. That is good. I should probably cut and sew that. Let's do that. Pumpkin chocolate sweet potato whole wheat. Oh, well, you don't mess around. Jean zipper goes there. Where am I next? Belt loops. Let's clean up the placement of the belt loops. I think you're that centerpiece. That is not a belt loop. Well, that's the belt loop. And then I think I've got one more over here. You never had a definite answer whether pumpkin pie is savory or sweet dessert? Should be sweet. It always tasted sweet to me. You add a little more salt. You do the salt instead of sugar thing. Is that it? Are you thinking by nature pumpkins aren't just really that sweet? But after you dump all that cinnamon and nutmeg and sugar in there, pumpkin. Yeah, well, it's the fact you dump all that sugar in there. Suddenly it becomes sweet. Chocolate's not really sweet by itself. We all knew that, right? It was a lie. It's all a lie. I think these are attachments. So where was I? I'm on belt. That's belt. That's belt. And that's belt. But then some people in the USA say it's not a dessert. What is that? Like a main course for them? Belt loop. Actually, that's belt loop. No, those are belt loops. Belt. That's a belt loop. Belt loop. Okay. And that's this one right here. And then belt attachments. It's all this other stuff. Uh, I'm going to try to line these up a little bit better. Let's get you up in here. Up a little more. Let's see if we can line you up a little better with your... Come on, cuz. There we go. You mostly see it in when people order it in a diner, so there's a little context. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought of pumpkin pie for anything other than a dessert. Ah, but what do I know? Are we done? No, I have one more. Jeans. That's right. I was doing the jean belt loops right there. And then my belt loop attachments is all of this stuff. You and you and you and you and these two over. You know what? You guys are overlapping. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's separate you guys a little. All right, now we'll get that. What are you supposed to be? Oh, you're part of the belt. That's right. You're that little belt loop attachments goes there, and you are just belt. And honestly, I should butt you up against here, like so. You're snapping to something that I can't see. That's better. Let's hit save. It is 9 o'clock. Yeah, Digital Dak. Thanks for popping in. It was good to see you. Tarpov, also great to see you too. And I know Mr. Rod Shelley was in the house. And I think we got CS Bond lurking in the background somewhere. I hope he's able to sit in a chair for longer these days, but if he can't, I get it. Anyhow, let's see who's on this beautiful Thursday and go rate somebody. Hey, if you're over on the YouTube, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, you can join the raid. Let's see who else is on Twitch today. I got 8 viewers. That can't be true. Who's on in the Twitch first? It is Thursday. Fallen Learns, thanks for being here. I appreciate the lurk, man. The hanging out is always a pleasure to catch you. Fallen Learns, thanks for being here. Oops, I can hear myself echoing in the background. Let's see if my friend Doctor. Well, let's go to the bottom of the list. We'll work our way up. Infozar, happy Thanksgiving. Jack is doing magic. He normally isn't on this late on Thursdays. He is probably one of the most entertaining people on Twitch, in my opinion. My friend I'm Only a Big Child is on, but he's playing Zelda. Super Cool Cat occasionally does art streams. I'm going to shout them out. If you could give them a follow, that would be awesome. But I don't think we're going to raid them. I'm looking for one of the art friends who's doing art, or we'll just raid Jack, aka Infozar, or Dr. DK if I see them. I don't think so. I think Dan may be taking the night off. You know what? So if anybody's got a preference, we got our magician friend, and then we got Andrea No Art. She is an absolutely marvelous graphite illustrator or artist. What is she doing? System of a Down portrait. Let's go. Let's go. I haven't rated her real recently, so maybe we'll go and check them out. We'll do that. She is a great artist. If you can stick around and join the raid, that would be awesome. Let's do a quick few things here. Hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Feel free to buy. I have a Discord. Feel free to join. If you post stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturdays, 8 p.m. We do a little Saturday night social. It's a Discord chat. It's an art share. It's an old cartoon. And the question each week is, will YouTube call that a copyright strike, even though it's public domain, or not? That has become our favorite game now. Having YouTube complain about copyright on public domain cartoons. Way to go, YouTube. Um, so anyhow, I will be back. But my next stream will be not Saturday at 8, but Saturday at 1 p.m. We'll be back with more 3D stuff. We're probably going to be working on this outfit. I think we're going to do the shoes. We're also going to redecorate because we're officially in the Christmas holiday season. So it's time to pull out the Christmas decorations and put away the autumn stuff. We're going to do that. And anyhow, so let's go over and say hi to Andrea. Do that, or Andrea. I forgot to roll my R's. I'm sorry, my bad. Anyhow, if you're not a sub, feel free to use that raid call. If you are a sub, thank you so much, and you get to use the sub raid call. There we go. So let's do this /raid will be Andrea and Ort, or it might be N Ort, something like that. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you all in America are having a good Thanksgiving. And for those of you on the other side of the planet where it's already Friday, happy Friday. For those of you not on that side of the planet, happy Thursday. Hope the rest of your Thursday is good. And let's do this. Let's go over and say hi to Andre. Anyhow, take care. Hasta la vista, baby.